He's saying that the Democrats are 5 million white people less, according to the census. And the reason why there's 5 million Americans, Americans, that are no longer here, according to the census, is because of the opioids. Opioids. Remember them? Drugs. Kind of. I don't know what it does to you. I don't know. I don't think it's a hallucinant. I don't know what it does to you. I don't know if it's a stimulant, hallucinogen, I don't know. I don't know what it does to you. I don't know if it's like cocaine. I don't know how people take it. I don't know anything about it except white people are dying from it, and still that's continued. So here's the thing, though. Tucker Carlson was upset, and I mean, he's a white guy, so yeah, I can see why he's upset. But he was talking as if the Democrats were celebrating this, and they were thinking that less, 5 million people, 5 million white folks less, that's a good thing. And he was making it seem as if the Democrats are the ones who went out and gave these people these drugs and put it on their block, filled their districts, avenues, streets with said drugs, and ignored the fact that these people were dying from this drug, and did not administer any help to these people who said drugs affected. Tucker, it just sounds so much like crack cocaine to me. And how black people obtain crack cocaine is because the government put crack cocaine in their neighborhoods, and black people pretty much went crazy, just like a lot of white folks did for crack cocaine. But it really affected us because the government put it there on purpose and wiped out a bunch of black people. A lot of black people died from crack cocaine and/or were put in jail for life. A lot of people are put in jail for a very, very long time for the rest of their lives for even having the smallest amount. It's the same thing with marijuana. You're putting, black people in jail for just a little bit, even some shake, just a little bit of marijuana, just throwing black people in jail for life. There are people who have life sentences for just a little bit of marijuana. There are people who lost their lives because the police has murdered them over marijuana. But, the white folks, they're just puffing it right in front of the cops like it's nothing. Tucker Carlson, I'm not trying to hear your complaint. There's probably no black people are trying to hear your complaint. None of us, because we're still being brutalized and traumatized every day. Every day we're seeing it. And then you have some black people who are trying to say that this is not happening, but we know that it's happening, and it's happening to our children now. I mean, you're knocking off our children, and we don't even want to go into our past and talk about what you did to us and our children. And now you're like, oh my, 5 million white people are gone, and listen, I don't even think the opioids really killed 5 million people. I don't know. I usually would look it up and find some statistics. I'm not even sure that they did. But here's one thing I am sure of. There are more white people in the American Army than there are any other race. Correct? Where is our army? Where is our standing army? We are all over the world. I mean, we just pulled out of, some foreign country, and, the Taliban has taken over. But why were we even there? Where is our army? I mean, why are we in Iran right now? Our army's everywhere. And we're invading countries, and we know we're invading countries. Look, it's not even a secret. We're going to invade your country and take your resources. That's what our army does. And when there's pushback from that, we blow the people up that are there. We occupy their space. But you know what? Who's doing that? The majority of people who are in the army, they're white people, and they're men, and they're dying. So you have that. Then you have diseases, heart disease, cancer. Then you have car wrecks and, so on and so forth. You have, homicides. You have white people going out and, killing other, school shootings and stuff like that. So, I mean, when we start factoring why 5 million white people less are in America, I don't think it just adds up to opioid. And if it did, then you need to recount, Tucker, because 5 million is not the only number that you'll be looking at. You'll be looking at probably more like 6 million. Easy. If you didn't count all those other factors in. I mean, car crashes. I mean, come on, there's a lot of factors that you need to count in. And this is why a lot of white people are, pretty much disappearing. Suicides. Yeah, all that too, Tucker. But don't complain to black people, or complain about black people when they are not upset about, said people who are no longer on the planet. Now, me personally, I don't know any of these people who died from opioids, so I don't really care, as far as, Tom died. Damn, Tom was cool. I don't like any care like that. And I mean, I hope they were, God-fearing Christians and they went to heaven. That's all I have to say about it. I'm not rejoicing about it. I don't rejoice when somebody meets an untimely demise. But we are talking about opioids. We're talking about something that people choose to take from all walks of life. We're not talking about something that just poor people took. We're talking about something that rich and poor took into their system on purpose, knowing that it could kill them. And it did. It did. It killed them. They knew that they were in trouble. They knew that this could kill them. And it killed them. So, I mean, do I feel sorry for them? I mean, an addiction is something. I mean, come on, we're all addicted to something. At some point, we need help. We need prayer. But, I mean, I don't know, it's just, I don't know, I feel the same way if any other nationality died from opioid. If you're a grown person, now if you're a child, that's different. Yeah, I feel sorry for a child because, they don't have all the, reasoning that we have. They may not even known it was going to take their life. But for a full-grown adult, 30, 40, and I'm just like, it was their drug of choice. This is what they wanted to do. They knew the consequence and it caught up to them. They did this. They went out and they played with fire and they got burned. I don't know how to feel as far as that was your grown choice. Because listen, if somebody is taking drugs right now, and this person these drugs weren't forced upon them. They were curious. They went out and they said, I want to know what opioids are all about. And somebody was like, hey, come here. I'll tell you what opioids are. I mean, however it goes, I don't know. And boom, they took some opioids, they got hooked. And then, of course, they probably already knew there's a good chance opioids can kill you, and then it does. Do I feel sorry for that person? Not too much, because they knew it could kill them. I feel sorry if they lost their soul. That's what I feel sorry for. If they lost their soul, I do feel sorry for that 100%. You lost your soul to that. Like, come on now. People who get into car wrecks, car accidents, that don't, it's not on purpose. It's an accident. I feel sorry for them. I don't care what nationality it is. I feel sorry for them because they were just going about their day and then bang. It's not their fault, especially if it's not their fault. Yeah, I feel sorry for them. But people who seek to put something in their system they know is going to kill them. I don't know. I just don't have a lot for that. I don't. Because there's too many of us out here trying to survive. We're trying to stay away from these things. We're trying to do everything we can just to enjoy a normal life. And there's all kind of things attacking us, trying to get us not to enjoy a normal life. So don't look at black people, Tucker Carlson, and think that we owe you something because 5 million white people died because of drugs. We don't owe you nothing. Why don't you go get 2 million people out of jail? Go and get 2 million people out of jail, Tucker Carlson. How about you do that? Huh? How about you go arrest the people who put crack cocaine in our streets in the 80s? Because a lot of them are still alive. Why don't you do that? No, you ain't gonna do that. You ain't gonna complain about that. You ain't got nothing to say about the crack cocaine that was in our streets and still is. Oh, no. You want to complain about the opioid issue. Here's the thing about the opioid issue. Black people had nothing to do with it. It was simply something that, like, we're so far removed from the opioid problem, even though I'm sure there's some people who are black that are taking it, but you can't put no blame on black people for what happened to white people as far as the opioids is concerned. You can't say black people convinced me to take opioids. Listen, you can almost say, they're a crack dealer. You can't, well, not all crack dealers are black, but you can say that there are a lot of, crack dealers who are black who were getting people hooked on crack and, they were selling to any and everybody, no matter what race. You can say that, but not all of them are black, of course. The major ones are actually white because we don't have any boats and ships to bring this stuff in on. And we don't have any farmland where we're making it, so you can't blame us too much, but you can blame people who are known distributors. And being that it was put in our neighborhood, you have a lot of black people who were known distributors. But not everybody who dealt with it was a black person. So, you can say little Sally Sue came from the suburbs and found, Johnny John Johnson, and he was a crack dealer, and, put her on to some crack. Next thing you know, she's, stripping and hooking down on, Mayberry Street. Now, you could probably say that because that really did happen. A lot of white daughters came to the black neighborhoods and was hooked on drugs and started messing with, the black males who gave it to them. I actually seen this actually happen in my hood and was like, I spoke to one white girl and I was like, what are you doing here? It was an all-black neighborhood. She was in love with the local drug dealer, and he was the worst of the worst. He was also a hell of an athlete, too. This dude was super quick. He was super fast. But he was the local drug dealer, and she loved it. He was kicking her ass. And this was some little rich white girl. She could not get away from this guy. So yeah, I've actually seen it actually happen. So yeah, you might have something there, but once again, black people don't own any ships. We don't own any airplanes. We cannot be the distributor of these drugs because we can't bring it in. It wasn't us. We didn't bring it in. So yeah, that's what I got to say about it. Now, for all you white folks who might get offended at this, I really don't know how to appease you because there are so many black people who have died from just the stuff that white people have done to us. Do I have an issue with white people? Only if they have one with me. If you got an issue with me, then I have an issue with you. Other than that, let's get money. That's all I care about. Your boy Tone 202. Peace.